welcome to Nurse Table Talk. I'm Nurse Julie.
Hi everybody, this is Kathy.
And we are here today to talk to you about bathroom safety. And by the end of today's video, you should have a better understanding of bathroom safety products that are and may be available to you or to have you assist your loved ones when needed. So let's get started.
Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to talk about is just bathroom safety in its essence. So what most people first start out with, I think, is grab bars.
Right.
Usually they can be found at just a regular Ace Hardware store or a big box store, and they're just installed onto the walls. It's pretty simple. It's like 4 screws, I think. But it does, and they're pretty cheap too. I don't really think, well, everything's kind of pricey these days now, but I don't think grab bars, I think those are one of the cheapest things that you can add to your bathroom. But they're great because they're just like when you go into a public restroom stall and they've always got the grab bars in there. It's exactly, you just put them where they need to be, where you need them to be according to your height, your stature. A lot of people love them because it helps them shift their body weight without having to do it all on their own. It helps people with balance, like especially if you're trying to like pull up your underwear or shift around and you're
Right.
because falling's the worst. We've talked about how bad it is for people to fall. So if you can leverage yourself with the grab bars, that would be the best way to go about staying safe in the bathroom.
Right. And there are different types of grab bars. There are ADA compliant grab bars, and those generally are real substantial. They may be a wider circumference. They may hold up to more poundage. So you always want to look on the label and make sure that it's ADA compliant. Or they do have decorator grab bars. And I had pictures that I took in my home, and we will post those. Now those, again, we have ADA compliant grab bars pictures as well, but the decorator ones are more like, I use them in my home as like if there was a step down, I wasn't putting my full weight on them. It was kind of a guide to my guests in my house that weren't familiar with the levels in my floors to help prevent falls. You could grab them and just guide yourself down the step. But the ADA compliant ones are, again, they're more weight bearing. That's my understanding of that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think the other really nice thing about grab bars too is that a lot of times you hear people complain that their wheelchairs or their walkers don't really fit into the bathrooms very well.
Yeah.
And I think that this is just kind of a nice extra aid in that regard, so that when you have somebody in a wheelchair and you can't push their chair to the back of the bathroom where the potty is, if you can have a grab bar installed, you're basically giving yourself an extra set of hands without having to actually physically be there. So they certainly come in handy.
Yes, they do. I know my house guests really appreciated them. So anyway, so grab bars is one of the products, and please review the pictures if you want to see just a couple of examples of different types.
Yeah.
So the next product that we wanted to show is a transfer bench. And the purpose of a transfer bench that somebody might need is to get from the outside of the tub into the inside of the tub. That's the easiest way that I can explain it.
Yeah.
And we are going to attach a video in our video today to show somebody how transfer benches are utilized. And again, you certainly want to have someone there to help you if need be, but it just gives you an idea what a transfer bench is. A person, they would have to do their research on what transfer bench would fit for them, but we have pictures, and we're not promoting one manufacturer's bench or somebody selling the product as well, because there's many places that sell transfer benches, and there could be many models out there, but we just wanted to give you an idea of what they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
The next really great piece of bathroom apparatus is the toilet riser.
yeah,
Now, I'm a big fan of these. Uh, Back when I was a bedside nurse, I did a lot with older, like geriatric rehab,
right.
and I really never appreciated how low a standard toilet is until I
They're
tried to
pretty, they're
tip
pretty low.
up off the potty,
Yeah.
and we would have the toilet risers, and it was a game changer. Um, I like the higher height toilets anyway, but when you look at a regular height toilet, you just wonder how in the world somebody who's got hip and knee issues or balance issues or anything like that could possibly safely get up and down.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So the toilet risers, again, there's different types and there's different inches. They can be 3 to 5 inches above the commode or toilet. It depends on what your needs might be. The typical height on, they call them comfort seat or chair height, is now about 17 inches.
Yeah.
I think they used to be 15 or below. So that's what the difference is.
Why
That
don't you just do limbo in the bathroom? What's the
I know,
difference?
right? But again, the different types out there, some have the handles, okay, and those help a person lift off, push off, or help with balance. And it can also be a safer model to choose from. If somebody's transferring to a wheelchair, it gives them that extra support. So risers can come in handy, and especially after somebody has surgery as well, post-op surgery. I remember, I have to share this, Kathy, because I am such a proponent of toilet seat height. And again, like you said, you don't really think about it till you need it, right?
Right.
So I had surgery, had some bladder surgery, and I remember having to sit on the commode or the toilet, and I was waiting for somebody to come in and assist me, but the seat was low. And I felt my knees and my feet get numb. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm trying to shift around. I know that sounds really personal, but there are reasons that we don't think about, that we take for granted. And if somebody is fortunate enough to really ask about getting a high riser, it's something really worth to consider.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to say too, when we throw this stuff out and people at home, they fall in love with this idea and they want to, get in touch with somebody to get these. The very first thing that you should do is to call your doctor. Right. Doctors they can prescribe this. It's called durable medical equipment, or DME. And they can prescribe it for you if you have a benefit on your plan, which most people do not, unless it's related to surgery or aftercare. But if you are one of those lucky people that do have a benefit attached to their insurance plan, with a prescription, you can get part of it paid for by your insurance. Without that, you're looking at what we call private pay, where you're just paying your own bill. Now, and I can tell you, if you have surgery or you're going home with physical or occupational therapy or home care of any sort, you'll be evaluated for bathroom safety, because it's one of the very first things that we look at for people when they go home, because it's it's a place where a lot of accidents typically happen, believe it or not. So, so that person can recommend your staff, your provider, they can recommend what you may need. Now, if you're just a person watching this and you're like, I need a shower chair or a transfer bench because I can't get in and out and whatever. I'm telling you, I go in and out of thrift stores and Goodwills and Salvation Armies all the time. There is usually some of this stuff sitting in the back. It's donated.
Churches Churches are another source.
Yes. So if you're in the situation where you can't get your hands on something new, or you can't have a prescription, or whatever the case may be, check out the thrift stores.
Right.
And then before you actually implement any of this, the toilet razor, the grab bars, or a shower bench, make sure that you have either a family member or a close friend or a spouse who's kind of with you, making sure that your equipment is set up safely, and that everything's locked, all the pins are locked along the sides, and you got your good grab, the grippies for the floor.
Right.
Because we don't want you to go ahead and get something like this and then hurt yourself trying to use it.
Right.
So, yeah.
And to be aware of bath mats too. Some are not as adhesive. They don't stick like the other ones. I mean, some are more stick and some are less stick, and you certainly don't want to get water underneath it and then slip that way too.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of little nuances and little weird things in there, but at the end of the day, if you can implement some of these safety devices in your bathroom regimen, it allows you to stay safe and at home for much longer than if you're just, crossing your fingers when you need to use your bathroom.
Right.
Yeah. So we would highly recommend at least considering this.
Right.
Go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
And one other picture that that Kathy and I wanted to enclose too is the bedside commode. And I know it's not part of like bathroom safety, so to speak, but we had the subject of commodes or toilets today.
Yeah.
And that product, again, is really something that is very important to consider if somebody might need it, to help prevent falls if somebody has to get out of bed at night and they just again had surgery, or they have a weakened muscles and they're just not able to be stable on their feet.
Yeah.
Please consider a bedside commode to help prevent falls while you are trying to get stronger. And so we wanted to show a picture of that as well.
Cool.
So anyway,
we have to go to the bathroom.
So thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next time.
Like the content you just watched? Hit the like button or hit subscribe here. If you want to be notified of any future videos, please ring that bell. If there's any topic you'd like to see discussed, leave us a comment in the comment section. Nurse Table Talk. Save time, save money, be informed. Thanks for watching.